Yeah, hi, I'm Obsidian Ant, and today I want to take a look at modding the Beluga frameshift drive. With the recent introduction of Fish into beta to supply the engineers, it's the perfect opportunity to modify anything that you actually want. So we'll try out the Beluga for this to see just how far we can get the jump drive up to, but before we do that, I want to show you something from the new tutorial missions. So as you heard right at the beginning of the video, these tutorial missions are now fully voiced.
Some control systems are still offline, but you should have basic drive functionality now.
I'll leave all the tutorials for you to discover for yourselves. I wanted to point out though that there's a few things in here that are pretty interesting. This is the very first one. It just gives you the instructions on how to control your ship, something that many new players will find very handy. A long time ago, Frontier mentioned that in Season 3 they will be working towards having voice acting for station interiors and missions, so maybe that will be coming just soon, and this is opening the doorway towards that. But here is the thing I really wanted to show you in this particular mission: an outpost inside an asteroid field. Something people have long been asking for. Maybe something that's going to be making an appearance in the game very soon, and hopefully with a new and improved asteroid model base perhaps. So here I am in my Beluga. You can see 20.96 light year jump range. Now it is outfitted relatively well. It's got weapons, it's got some fighters fitted. It's by no means optimal in terms of its jump capacity, and that's because I wanted to give it as much ability for combat and the things like that as possible. A nice comfy ship all in all. Here we are then with a grade 5 FSD modification, and we'll see what that gets the jump range to. Obviously 20 light years isn't all that much, especially for some of these passenger missions that want you to go many hundreds and in some cases many thousands of light years. So the higher we can get it, the better. And there we are, already an increase of nearly 10 light years. I did spend a bunch of time here trying to get a better roll, trying to improve the jump range even further than that. But just modding the FSD itself didn't get me much of an improvement overall. So if you do want to go higher than that, you'll need to modify your other modules or maybe outfit to a more optimal jump range. But 30 light years all in all isn't too bad, and is very close to what many people not too long ago considered reasonable for an exploration vessel. Right then, next up was picking up some passenger missions, and you can see the rewards here are actually pretty good. That's 3.5 million for just travelling 40 light years, just 2 jumps in this ship as it stands. And here we have the passenger's traits, so it doesn't react too well to danger. They are time sensitive, they don't like delays, they're a high value target. They're neutral, so they don't mind illegal actions, but they are very demanding, so they're likely to make other requests whilst on the journey. And you can see there, I'm only able to put them in luxury cabins. So let's have a look at what other missions we got here. We got some quite low paid ones. Those are probably economy class passengers, which generally are probably not too worth bothering with. This one here also wants to go to another port, and what are they paying? They're paying 2.5 million for that, and that's actually the same port. So you're getting nearly 6 million just for one journey there. So we'll fit these nice and snugly into here. Now do keep two things in mind. I'm actually allied with this particular faction, which means I get the higher tiered rewards. And also this is still beta, so there's no guarantee that these level of rewards will actually carry over to the final game. 7.4 million there to travel to 1.4 thousand light years. So that reward doesn't really stack up too favourably against the mission I just accepted, does it? And what else have we got? We got some sightseeing missions. Now you may remember in the previous videos I showed you off those new visitor beacons, and that is what these missions would actually be for. You fly to the system and then scan the visitor beacon, which can sometimes be in some rather nice looking locations. The larger your ship, then the higher class ship you have, the better cabins you can fit, and the more cabins you can fit and the higher quality those cabins are, the more passengers you're actually going to be able to take in a single journey, netting you quite a substantial sum of money overall. As you can see, with each passenger actually comes a whole crew or an entourage with them. And as the passenger trait said, some of these guys actually are pretty demanding, and I've got a mission critical message here already just straight away after accepting the passenger missions. And this person here wants performance enhancers, for business purposes of course, yep, sure. And the other one wants consumer technology. Now we'd be in a bit of luck here if the commodity market at this station had exactly what we are after. But other than that, I don't know if it's worth actually chasing around and getting these people what they want. After all, there doesn't seem to be too much of a bonus for doing that. And as of now, I didn't either accept nor decline their particular request, and that seems to be okay if you just leave it unacknowledged. But over time, these people can get rather unhappy through one reason or another, and you really need to avoid that. I can't see a way so far of increasing their happiness once it's already gone into decline. Right, on to the first sightseeing mission then. This visitor beacon was down on a planetary surface, rather interesting looking planet, and I thought it looked really nice around here from space. The legend of the pirate lord calling herself Star Widow attracts visitors to this moon. Nice. Right, so she's happy with the first visitor beacon having been scanned and telling us to go on to the next one. Some of these passengers are very fussy, as you saw with their trays, and they don't like ship scans. Unfortunately, I hung around here far too long, and that is exactly what happened. And you'll see in just a few moments I'll get a mission critical update right there where these people are going to start complaining. And initially their status was happy, and you'll see that this person is now miserable. So it's gone down. Like I say, I don't know a way of increasing it as yet, and this person is unhappy. Eventually, if you make them too upset, they'll just eject straight out of your ship. I'm not sure what they hope to achieve by doing that, because I assume they will just be laying around on the planetary surface here until someone eventually comes and picks them up. But either way, it's not a particularly desirable outcome when you're ferrying passengers around. There was a bug on this mission. As I got to the second location, you'll see here there isn't actually a visitor beacon in this system, and that is something that I actually need to scan in order to complete the mission for this passenger. But there's nothing here, so nothing else for it. I had to leave that one unfinished. And the mission here in the Transactions tab is still telling me to scan the previous visitor beacon, which I've already done. Fortunately for me though, I had a bunch of other passenger missions to be getting on with. This was the next sightseeing one. Again, scanning the visitor beacon here in this system, and you can see these are certainly tourist attractions. They're nearly always orcas or belugas around them. The dolphin unfortunately hasn't made an appearance in the game just yet, and when asked, Sandra Samarco made a joke about it having escaped and no one knowing where it actually has gone. So you can see that these visitor beacons have some flavour text to them, and somewhere in the game there will also be these sightseeing ones, the ones that send you out to very deep into the galaxy, and those locations submitted by other players. I haven't seen any of these yet, but I hope they're actually in the game. This particular sightseeing mission though requires you to go to 2 visitor beacons just like the previous one, and fortunately this one wasn't bugged. The visitor beacon does actually exist here. Not sure why there's a whole scrapyard around here. It says fans of cold climates love this water world. Nice for them. And you can see that now this mission is complete. I need to return the passenger back to where I picked them up from, which was LHS 3447, and a fairly long trek back to the station from the entry point there. So before I had any desire of doing that, I wanted to head on and drop my other passengers off to their desired port. And it's these particular missions which seem to be the most lucrative at the moment, not the sightseeing ones, but just the simply shipping the person from A to B. And you can see this one earned me nearly 2.5 million. So there we have it. Passenger missions are a nice little earner, and the Beluga can be set up to have a fairly nice jump range. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.